On Snowball Earth, it is often the big predators that end up killing you, but sometimes it's the smallest bug which can be fatal. Welcome everyone, my name is Ryan and we are back with more Snowball Earth. And if you read the title of the video, you know that this is in fact the final episode. I am sorry to say it, but I have, of course, not been posting for the last couple of days for the series, and that is because that little event down below in our underground farm really did devastate me, and to be frank, I don't feel like spending another 30 days of in-game time just waiting to see if we fail again. But that being said, don't worry, because I still have a lot of vintage story content planned for the channel. In fact, I am in the process of upgrading my multiplayer server to the 1.21 update, and once that gets going, I've also got plans for another challenge series too. And I don't want to give too many spoilers, but it's basically going to be the opposite of the Snowball Earth. That will be our next challenge, and of course my multiplayer server is a benefit to my Patreons, and we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a full server restart. We've been waiting on a few mods, the expanded foods and culinary artillery to name a couple, which won't be updated for probably a couple weeks, maybe in months, but we'll see on that. Yet we're just going to do a restart and go without them, and once they get updated we'll definitely add them back in. But this way we can all join in the multiplayer fun again, and of course I will be streaming it, maybe even doing some edited stuff with that, but I hope you guys will all tune in for that. Now, in interest of making this video not, just a minute and a half long, I figured there's still some things we can do in Snowball Earth for our final episode, and I guess we could take a tour of the compound here. If we just simply run around the edges, yeah, that's a good tour, there it is. But we can take a quick look at the map. Oh, there have been quite a few of the tree hollows which were so critical to this playthrough, absolutely. And I think I will probably do another Snowball Earth run in the future. We'll see how some mods play out and stuff, but who knows? Vintage Story has such a bright future ahead of it going forward, not just in the next 6 months, but the next 6 years even. So I look forward to lots more playthroughs. But one thing a commenter or two mentioned during the series was that it would be interesting to see what is far south on Snowball Earth, if there's any kind of climate change or anything as we get closer to the equator. It might not even be noticeable, maybe just a region with no snow or something, but I'm curious about that. So maybe that's something we can do for our final episode, is take a bit of a trek and just find out. But you know what? I don't feel like sacrificing my final lives just to do that. So let's jump into creative mode and we'll fly there. In fact, there's a command to speed us up when we're in flight. So we'll probably do that. We'll set our direction south. Here it is, folks. Oh, so say goodbye to the compound. It's been nice. It's been a good little building, kept us safe. The hot springs were definitely a lot of fun. I like the mod too, the healing hot springs. It's a good mod. I might even add that in future playthroughs which aren't Snowball related, just so the hot springs have some sort of functionality and stuff. But either way, like I said, we're going to find out what lies in the southern parts of the Snowball Earth. As I understand it, the clouds have been updated with the new 1.21 patch, so let's just take a moment to appreciate the old blocky clouds before we start our journey here. Yeah, so we're looking at a little sunrise. I went to sleep, it was getting late, and I figured we might as well not start an evening time. So now we should have some good light to go and explore, and look at that, we can fly. Let's go. So as I mentioned, there's a command, I believe it's F2. Yeah, F2, and then you can reduce your speed with F1. Oh gosh, we got a lot of fog. Let's go a little bit lower. I think if we hang close to the treetops, we won't have as much fog. But then again, that could be dead wrong, because it looks like it's pretty stormy out here. But yeah, so F2 speeds us up quite nicely, but doesn't look like there's much to see for the moment. So I am very curious about this. Now, of course, pay attention to the counter 2 over here. Middle is the irrelevant, doesn't matter to us, but if we're going in a southerly, then we're looking at the the far right number should be the one that's going to be changing the most. Whoops. 1865 negative in front there. That one might change slightly if I turn, but yeah. So we'll see. Maybe we can get down to, what, 20,000 blocks? Let's find out. Well, we're not quite at 20,000 yet, but we did just cross over 10 or 11k, so we're making progress, and as you can see, nothing much has changed about the climate yet, but I think we do need to keep traveling for several thousand more blocks in this direction. But of course, in a normal world, which doesn't have the Snowball Earth option checked during world generation, you would come to a zone, a tropical zone, where there is no winter, no matter what time of the year it is. So we won't see that, I expect, but like I said, I don't really know. So only one way to find out, and that is to keep traveling. But I was hoping maybe to see some dinosaurs along the way, although I haven't spotted a single one. And it's been pretty cloudy too, so I'm staying close to the surface, and whenever I can, speed things up so we can get there ASAP. Well, we're not quite at 20,000 blocks, but I did come across the T-Rex, and I don't know, whatever this is right here floating. Doesn't look like snow, but either way, there he is, just hanging out. I think there was another one too, but oh, yeah. Temperature hasn't changed. Well, it's actually a little bit warmer. It's still negative. It's not tropical. I guess that's the point. But weather is still terrible. Visibility is next to nothing. So I'm just speeding along here. Maybe we can try another 10,000 blocks. I honestly don't remember what size I set the world to initially. I think I can still look at the main menu if I exit it out. But yeah, I think another 20,000 blocks or so couldn't hurt, so let's keep going. We have officially crossed 30,000 blocks, and there's not much to see out here, just a nice little aurora, but yeah, we're still traveling, and temperature hasn't changed much. Still cold, still snow, at least on the parts of the world where there's actual land, but I'm willing to go another 10,000 blocks, and then we'll probably teleport back home just to go there. I also have one final little experiment I want to try too, so stay tuned just a little while longer. We're not quite done with the Snowball Earth yet. And here we are at just about 40,000 blocks. I don't want to go too much farther in that direction because it looks like just open ocean, but to show you, the ground is still very covered here, unfortunately. And check it out, I actually changed the date of the year, so it is June 1st, no longer January or February, whatever we were in. That's right, I used a couple console commands. There they are, time set, and it was basically because I want to teleport back to our base now and just see if maybe we've got a tree grown below, because remember, I did replant it down there. Take a look at this. We just found ourselves a pine treant. So this is added by the Fantasy Creatures mod. These are, I think, fairly rare. I mean, yeah, foliage seems a little greener, but they're still muskox, which are definitely like a northern species, and obviously even in June here at 24 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah, there's a lot. I wonder if this thing's hostile to me. One way we could get back to home is just by dying instead of teleporting. Let's try that, in fact. Is this guy gonna be hostile? Ooh. Oh my god. He's coming for me. He's coming for me. He's like got spidery legs. Oh, that face is definitely nightmare fuel. Alright, well, hit me, bro. Oh, okay. I guess he's gonna forgive me. Wait, maybe I can just take him down. There's his health bar. Oh, you gonna do something? You know, treants, they're peaceful creatures. They don't want to be attacked. Oh, there he goes. Took a little provoking, but look at that, 5 lives. Oh, sure. Like, I believe that. Hey, we're back home. Not bad, not bad. And like I said, I did fast forward, so I'm wondering what's it going to be like down there. I don't know if actually just fast forwarding like that with the console command will actually affect the growth of plants and stuff. It might not. It might just flash forward and there was no growth whatsoever. Let's find out. Okay, one final trip to the underground farm. Oh my god, it worked. At first I saw this, the side of these boxes that I put down here. It worked. I am so shocked by that. Oh my god, why couldn't this have happened earlier? Look, it fills it too. That's wild. I don't have any inventory. I have no bags. Nothing. Oh, wow. Well, just goes to show you guys, underground farming of trees is definitely possible. Wow, that's crazy. I should have used the console command ages ago, but, well, it just goes to show you, we could have made more progress, definitely, but don't worry, and I hope you're not too disappointed because I am definitely into the idea of a snowball Earth, especially now that I know. I mean, I've learned so many great lessons over this series for sure, dealing with the temperature, with the creatures, the wildlife, and honestly with the underground farming. One thing I definitely learned is no more playing with lava. It doesn't help with the temperature. That's just due to the verticality, and that's it. Maybe, you know, in the future they'll make temperature a bit more dynamic in game, but it follows a pretty simple pattern, you know, and the lava itself is buggy, you know. I mean, in my experience, I don't know why it just set fire like that, but either way, you know, it's not something I want to recreate. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to playing with the 1.21 update, which of course I can't really do while we're still here locked in this. Oh my god, look at that. The tree is literally burning. Are you kidding me? The tree is burning as I'm doing my outro, and it just froze up my game. Okay, there we go. We can witness the burning in real time. That is so crazy. There goes all the potential seeds we would have gotten. Yeah, just goes to show you, underground farming, thumbs up. Farming next to lava, big thumbs down for that, folks. So like I said, a lot of lessons learned in this series. I hope had a lot of fun along the way too. Thank you guys, everyone who's tuned in for this. Really appreciate it. Like I said, don't fear, plenty more vintage story content. In fact, we'll be dealing with the new update in the next series, so I'm really excited for that. And also, if you do want to enjoy the multiplayer server, check the description below. I've got a link to my Patreon. All tiers get access to $5, $10, just whatever you feel you can afford or what you want to donate to the channel. But like I said, everyone is welcome. So thank you again for tuning in here to this crazy little series we called Snowball Earth, and I will see you all on the next one.